Magic players, welcome to a Pioneer League with Izzet Phoenix. This deck is particularly special to me because I used it to come to 9th place at the Australia-New Zealand Super Series, and I qualified for my first Pro Tour with it for Pro Tour Philadelphia. Many players say this is one of the hardest decks in the format, but I think once you get a number of automatic processes down, not a number of automatic plays, I think it becomes a bit easier. The deck has dropped off lately. You have a particularly bad matchup against Lotus Field, which feels almost unwinnable because you have all this creature removal, which frankly doesn't really do anything against them. And you also have a bad matchup against Angels because cards like Fiery Impulse just, well, they can't kill their Angels. And that being said, I think those two matchups are on the decline. Many players would say this deck is tier 2, maybe even tier 3, but it can prey on the more aggro-focused decks of the format. Or even decks like Abzan Greasefang, you have 7, 8 main deck removal spells for Greasefang, and you can have more post-board if you want to, which makes it a matchup that you can win. Additionally, against Rakdos midrange, I think you can be slightly favoured against them. It all depends on how many go blanks they have, and I'm seeing 1 or 2. I'm not seeing 3. When I qualified with this deck, people were packing 3 Shielders, 3 go blanks, and Unlicensed Hearths, and there just isn't that much hate anymore. Against decks like Izzet Creativity, well, you can Spell Pierce and tempo them out of the game. So the big thing I should say about this list is I am playing 1 copy of Temple Trespass and 1 copy of Galvanic Iteration. Normally these cards are good against combo decks. Treasure Cruise is good against the Thera decks, the aggro decks. Now, I find that builds with 4 Treasure Cruise tend to be more consistent and effective. So I'm sort of sacrificing the combo type matchups a little bit in favour of being a bit more consistent. And that's worked fairly well for me. I've also found, so a number of players, there's a debate between Ledger Shredder and Thing in the Ice, and I think Ledger Shredder is better for the deck overall, but sometimes Thing in the Ice can be better positioned. I think the optimal number is 5 2-mana creatures, and then 4 Phoenix, and then traditionally I like a Brazen Borrower as well, just to give me an extra threat. You have to remember that you can't play too many creatures because of pieces of the puzzle. We are an engine style deck. We need a certain number of our spells to be non-creature instants or sorceries. Additionally, I'm playing 3 MDFCs, 2 Spikefield Hazards, and 1 Jawari Disruption. I think for me an innovation was a lot of players are playing 19 lands, 2 Spikefield Hazards. I discovered I could get away with playing a 3rd MDFC if I cut the 2nd Hall of Storm Giants, which I found has worked well for me too. In the sideboard's fairly similar to what I played previously, but I've swapped. I played an Invoke the Winds. This time I've got a Burn Down the House. I think Invoke the Winds was for Rakdos midrange. It will Burn Down the House can also be for Rakdos midrange, but I think it can be quite reasonable against something like Gruul aggro, for instance. I do have 2 Alpine Moons here, trying to respect Lotus Field, make it a bit winnable, if possible. But other than that, Sweepers, again for Rakdos midrange, Gruul Vehicles, Counter Magic for control, Crackling Drake, another Thing in the Ice. Disdainful Strokes are good against Mono Green, and so is Ether Gust. And I think that's everything I have to say. So if you like what you're seeing, this is a new channel, please like and subscribe. If you notice any brilliant plays, mention something in the comments. If you see a terrible play and you notice a huge mistake, point it out in the comments. I will get back to you. Alright, let's jump into the games. Alright, welcome to round number 1. We have a keepable hand. We've got 2 lands, chart, fiery impulse, piece of the puzzle. We have a game plan, so we're going to keep this hand. Normally, we'd hope... Okay, they're playing a concealed courtyard. I think that probably means they're Abzan Greasefang. So we'll open with a Spire Bluff Canal and say go. This could get a little awkward because if they go... Okay, so they've got the pathway. If they go Grizzly Salvage into milling a vehicle... Okay, we found Lightning Axe. I was going to say, if they Grizzly Salvage into finding a vehicle and then play Greasefang, we can't actually deal with it. But now we can, because we found Lightning. so I'm just going to pass the turn back. I don't want to risk them getting an easy turn 3 kill. Next turn, I'll probably look to playing that Charter Course. So 5 cards revealed. No vehicles yet. They took Mana Confluence. So now they're going to play Scrapwork Mutt. Now a vehicle's probably going to the graveyard. Feeling into. Right. Razor Verge Thicket. Play Otawara. Now, here I can cycle the Charter Course and hold up Lightning Axe, and I think I will do that. And I want to put an instant or sorcery in the graveyard, so... Ooh, Phoenix. Well, I'd really like to put that Phoenix into the graveyard, but if they Thoughtseize me and take Lightning Axe, then I can't kill a Greasefang. So... I would dearly love to be able to do that. So I think I'm gonna ditch this piece of the puzzle. I don't really see an opportunity where we're going to be able to pass the pieces, because if we tap out, we're probably dead on the spot, frankly. Okay, so traverse the Elven World, search for Greasefang. I imagine they're about to play a land, which they do, and then we are ready for this Greasefang. Think I will lead on the Fiery Impulse. I know I've got a Phoenix in hand, but you know, if we Treasure Cruise, we may end up with no instants or sorceries in the grave at some stage. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. I'm just going to play Ledger Shredder, and I'm going to say go again. Same reasoning as before. I don't want to tap out in case they play a Greasefang, because if they do, we lose on the spot. Never be afraid to not spend all your mana with Phoenix, and we can operate at instant speed. I have an opt asked if they don't do anything, and I can just slowly grind the game out to a victory. Okay, so playing another Greasefang. This could get really awkward, unfortunately. If they I'm gonna Lightning Axe this, but if they have the name escapes me, but the Orzhov recursion spell is something they could have here. Can't Stay Away, that's its name. They don't have it, so looks like we're in luck. Alright, so now we've got hold up Spell Pierce, because if they've got 2 mana open, maybe they have another Grizzly Salvage. So we've got 4 cards in the grave. I think we're going to lead on the opt. Arclight Phoenix. Well, if we do get to end of turn Spell Pierce, we will get to loot that to the graveyard. So that would be good. On the other hand, we really need to find another removal spell. So I think we're going to keep digging. Galvanic Iteration. So now we have 5 in the grave. I think we're just going to sit tight. The other thing you can do with this deck is, even if you don't have a removal spell, you can represent one. They have just sort of played into our removal spells so far, but and maybe they won't if it's the only Greasefang they have. Storm-Carved Coast. Well, that's an important card. I'm going to ditch the pieces again. Don't think we're going to get an opportunity to cast it. I think next time we're going to look to Stormcarved Coast, iteration into Treasure Cruise, draw 6 cards, and hopefully that will be lights out. I think in this situation we just have to hope they don't have anything, to be honest. Alright, I think... I mean, so they get to loot again. I think I don't want to take the damage though. So I'm going to block. At this stage of the game, you know, the reality is I'm about to draw 6, 7 cards. So even if they did combo, I can probably win anyway. Okay, 1 card remaining. Scrapwork Mutts gets exiled. Stormcarved Coast. Iteration. So now hopefully we'll draw another land and another instant sorcery, and then we can recur this Arclight Phoenix. And then just start reducing his life total. So now you really want to stack this so Phoenix goes, sorry, Shredder goes first, then Iteration, because I'm going to draw 3 cards. Then I'm going to loot with the Shredder. You see I found an Arclight Phoenix there. I'm going to ditch the Phoenix. And I'm going to draw another 3 cards. And I don't know what I was talking about before about finding an untap, because obviously I just played a land. We're not going to tap out though to get that Phoenix. Again, holding up a removal spell because we just don't need to win the game that quickly. We can play it slowly. If I got back my 2 Phoenixes and did 9 damage, what good is that if he then has 2 Angels on his turn? Right, discard card. I'll discard Supply Buff. We have a land already in the Steam Vent, so that's going to be tapped. Okay, opponent scoops. Alright, sideboarding. So against Abzan Greasetang, normally I'd take out the Trespass. I'd take out the Galvanic Iteration. I know it looks very good there. And often take out a Spikefield Hazard as well. And I'd bring in Braid, 1 Brotherhood's End, 1 thing. So not a lot of sideboarding. We're normally quite good against them. Anyway, the thing allows me to... Whoop, didn't mean to do that. The thing allows us to actually win post-combo, essentially, because you can bounce the Angels. Equally, you can bounce anything else they're doing. They don't play Stitcher's Supplier or cards like that anymore, so flipping isn't necessarily detrimental. Obviously, they can make a lot of Cats tokens as well. That's why we bring in Brotherhood's End, so we have a way to sweep them. So, go wide strategy. Other than that, I don't really like making a lot of other changes. I take out the Trespass because so normally games 2 and 3, people like to bring in Graveyard Removal, or Graveyard Hate, sorry. And you really don't want to be clunked with a combo. Because you may just never cast the Trespass, so you'll often see that coming out in games 2 and 3. Right, but we kept a reasonable hand. I'm going to open with... So now here we can go Spire Bluff Canal, Spell Pierce, whatever he does, or we can go Spikefield Hazard. I think it's going to be inefficient regardless of what we do, but I would like to Spell Pierce. So I'm going to play the Spire Bluff Canal. He'll probably play a land and say go. Oh, nope, he's going to cast it now. If he chooses to wait. With a Bloom Command, okay. I think I will Spell Pierce this anyway. Just to slow them down. It gives me time to set up Island. That is a really good draw. So now I'm just going to play the Ledger Shredder. So now you know, it's turn 3. He doesn't have a vehicle in the graveyard. He hasn't set up yet. I've been able to land my Shredder. Next turn, I'm going to be able to hold up Opt and Fiery Impulse. So I'll be able to destroy any Greasefang he plays, and he still no vehicle in the graveyard. Him plays a Swamp. Fatal Push. Okay. Well, we do get a loot. I'm going to loot this Phoenix to the Phoenix. Yeah, I am going to loot the Phoenix. It's just sort of sitting there. Okay, another land. Now, I think I will just play the Spikefield as a tap, or the Spikefield K run. I'm going to want to Opt and Fiery Impulse. I think I'll probably want all my turns. So now, it's probably just going to play Chariot. It does just play Chariot. I'm going to Opt in response. Steam Vents, don't need that. Okay, I didn't find Spell Pierce, which I could have. Just going to pass priority there. Okay, so we've got to consider. So now I can hold up Lightning Axe, and I can Lightning Axe the Chariot if you cruise it. Equally, I could Brotherhood's End. I don't think I want to Brotherhood's End just yet. I think I'd rather just hold up the Axe. If he just swings with the 2 cats, that's fine. He'll probably commit to the board a bit more, and then I can punish him further with Brotherhood's End. So I'm going to... I'm not going to be able to cruise this turn, even if I... So I've got 3, 5. I'd need another 3 mana, so I'm just going to play the Pathway, and I think I'm going to say go. There was an argument to playing the Pathway as a red land, but I find that once you get 2 red sources that can't produce blue, you start to get into trouble. You often need triple blue or quadruple blue. So, because you're chaining Considers and Treasure Cruisers and whatnot together. Okay, so he is going to crew. And he's going to go to combat. Now I'm going to consider. Found the pieces of the puzzle. I actually kind of want to keep that, but I don't know if I can. So I'm going to bin it. Thing in the ice. I need Fiery Impulse to deal with the Greasefang. I need the Brotherhood's End to beat the Cat's tokens. Or maybe I don't need the Brotherhood's End because I've got the thing in the ice now. But then you could have another Fatal Push and I'd have trouble. So I think I will ditch the thing in the ice here. Especially if he plays another Chariot, this Brotherhood's End is going to be quite useful. Traverse the Ulvenwald. Getting Greasefang. Gonna play it tapped Godless Shrine. Surely he won't Greasefang now. Okay, he will. He's gonna Greasefang now. Alright. So now obviously Brotherhood's End cleans up. You could have another Greasefang. I don't have another red source with Fiery Impulse, but Opt. Okay. I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to lead on Treasure Cruise. Let's see what I find. Hopefully I get another red source, and then everything's just easy. I did find another red source. Okay. Well now 3 damage to each creature. And then I'm going to play the Tamiyo's. Okay. Okay. So that's going to gain Hexproof and Indestructible. Okay, that's one way of doing it. So that's why he played the Greasefang. Okay. Past his priority. I'm just going to Fiery Impulse now. Maybe he doesn't have another Tamiyo's Safekeeping. Does he have another? No, he doesn't. Okay. Alright, well now I'm going to Pieces. So again, want to find another removal spell so I can kill Greasefang. Didn't find anything. That's a dreadful dreadful pieces. I'm going to consider find Dry Disruption. We don't want that. And unfortunately, I can't get back the Phoenix, and I don't have a removal spell. So he didn't have another Grease Fang last turn, so we'd have to get pretty unlucky here, I think. And he doesn't actually, so that's good news. He's got 2 cards in hand. He's just passing. They could be Parhelions, which would be unfortunate for him. We've still got 2 ops. Alright, we're going to need something better than those. Come on, come on, come on, deck. Didn't find anything. I'm going to play the tapped Spire Bluff Connect. We can start wailing on him with all of Storm Giants pretty soon. Grizzly Salvage. Maybe I should have considered Spell Piercing that, because he did find Grease Fang, and he wouldn't have been able to play the Grease Fang here. Well, he's got, what does he have in the grave? He doesn't have a Parhelion, so it's not game over just yet. But had an unfortunate sequence for us, I think. I really think I should have spell pierced the Grizzly Salvage, to be honest. I think that was a mistake, unfortunately. But what can you do? What can you do? Okay, we're going to need a piece of the puzzle here, I think. Chart a course. Okay, well that's a good start. That's a good start. So I'll lead on chart. Found a Phoenix and a Ledger Shredder. So now I can't spell pierce Chariot. Placed again. I can. I could play Shredder, hold up. This is where it gets difficult. So, I can't recur the Phoenixes. I can ditch Phoenix, play Shredder, hold up Spell Pierce. I don't know what I'm hoping to Spell Pierce, to be honest. Even if I Spell Pierce Chariot, he'll be able to play the mana. You know what, maybe it is actually the Spell Pierce. And then play Shredder. Play Phoenix. And then I think we pray. The advantage of a deck like Izzet Phoenix is that you can just sort of have one amazing top deck, and Sky Sovereign, of course. Only I kept a Spell Pierce. This is why a deck like Izzet Phoenix is hard to play, though, because you can never. You're always having to think of everything that could happen, and unless you're superhuman, it's pretty difficult. So now, we're still not dead, so I'm going to pass. He has to. I mean, he could play Chariot and then crew the Sky Sovereign. That would be good enough. But he chooses not to. He's just going to attack. So now, to be honest, I can just fire up the Hall of Storm Giants. He might face or push this. That's okay. If he doesn't, then I kill the Grease Fang. So that's probably the best play he could have done for us. He'll probably play the other Chariot here. Chooses not to play the other Chariot. Okay. Opponent's letting us make a comeback. What we like to see. Find a consider. Okay, pieces of the puzzle. Here we go. Yes! Come on, deck. Alright. So, pieces. Fiery Impulse. Pieces. 2 more Phoenixes. That's incredible. Alright, well now, what do I do now? So, I can take, I've gone consider pieces. I could play another pieces, hold up axe, recur my Phoenix. Might do that. So now I can play another pieces. Take Treasure Cruise and... Do I want the Spell Pierce? That's the question. I think I should take it. Should take it. Alright. And Rising from the Ashes for Arcanite Phoenix. I am on 4. So I need to get this game done. And I've got 13 cards in my library, but I also need blockers. So it's on 22. So 12 times 2 is 24. So if I swing with everything, I have game next turn. But so 9 times 3, 27. I do have the Hall of Storm Giants. I feel like I need one blocker. I feel like I need... I'm going to keep one blocker. So, what's he going to do? Is he going to play the Chariot? He's playing the Chariot. So, it's fine. He's got 3 cards remaining. Maybe I should have kept 2 blockers. But then I'm not winning the game. So if he could have another Tamiyo's Safekeeping, which he's got another one. Maybe he just wins if he has that. That's just how it's going to be. Come on, goes to the graveyard. Yes, come on. Block the cat's token. Draw for turn. Treasure Cruise again. So he's on 13, 9. All of Storm Giants would do it, actually. Is that too risky? Is that too risky? What could he have? He can't face or push at anything. Revolts doesn't trigger. He could have... I don't think he can stop a Hall of Storm Giants attack. I don't think he can. He possibly have. Bear with me, chat. I'm going to go through the deck lists online. Alright, thank you for waiting. I don't think he can have anything. I'm going to go for it. He can face or push the Hall, but if he did, it's got Ward 3. So, and he's only got 3 mana available, so I think this is game. There's nothing he can have. Okay, there we go. Round number 1 is a win. Alright, welcome to round number 2. We keep this hand. We have 2 lands. Fiery Impulse. The Spikefield Hazard will come in tapped, but we have an early Spell Pierce, and we've got a Ledger Shredder. Unclaimed Territory. Naming Human. We're against humans. Humans playing Unclaimed Territory, which is not something you normally see. Normally they're playing mono white. So I think we're going to have to lead on this Spikefield Cave. So we have a slow start here. Hopefully we'll find a 3rd land and be able to catch up. He's going to attack with the hero. So he's probably playing 5 colours then if he's got Unclaimed Territory. Talia. Okay. So now we have a choice. We can either Fiery Impulse Talia, get that off the board straight away, or we can Ledger Shredder. There's pros and cons to both because you could have another Talia. Or he could have a Reflector Shredder. That would be a disaster. So I think I'm actually going to lead on Fiery Impulse. Just get this off the board. I need to be able to consider and act probably in the same turn. So we'll do that. They could still have what's that card? Vanishing Light, the thing that gives everything protection. Okay, he's playing Adeline. So that's going to have to die. So thing in the ice. Right, I'm going to lead on consider. We need to find another land. That's not a good land, but I think it's going to have to do. So I'll put that on top. Play that. I'm going to lightning axe this and ditch the spell pierce. I don't think they're going to have any non-creature spells. I'm doing this all main phase because he could still have the 1 mana protection to all white creatures spell. Wish I could remember the name. Skrelv. Alright, 2 cards in hand. So now I've got Thing, Shredders, Phoenix, and a Pieces. I think I'm going to have to Pieces here. I think he could have a Reflector Mage, so still holding back for now. I need to stay on kill all his creatures plan. I'm going to take Cruise and... Not good, are they? They're so bad. I only have 1 blue. I think it's going to be Cruise and Pieces, to be honest. Alright, so I guess we're taking another turn off. But they didn't put a crazy amount of stuff on the battlefield last turn. So, if he plays another Aslan, could be in trouble. And it looks like I think it's... Yeah. So, attacks, leaving the scroll up, as you'd imagine. Find an island. Play the island. Now I could play... I mean, I guess he's going to give Aslan protection, so that's unfortunate. I could go Shredder, Cruise, find a removal spell. And that would ditch the Phoenix. Or I could go Thing. I could just lead on Cruise and see what I find. Maybe if I found 2 removal spells, very good. Then I could be in the game. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'm just gonna. This is a bit wishful thinking, I think, but Lightning Axe and a Fiery Impulse would do it here. Didn't find anything like that. Lightning Axe would still probably be quite good. And I think we're just dead. I don't know if there's a combination I could have used there. Sideboarding. Right, we're going to ditch Temporal Trespass. We're going to ditch Galvanic Iteration. Because they're playing Talia, I like to trim on the opts. Of course, I need to ditch the Spell Pierces as well. Alright, we're going to bring in Crackling Drake, burn down the house, 2 Brotherhood's Ends. Thing in the Ice, 2 Young Pyromancers, a Braid. I'll ditch Brazen Borrower. Okay, how's this? Okay, so we've got... What have we done? We've traded... A lot of dead cards, to be honest. So I guess with this, more removal, more creature blockers. We've got sweepers. Spell pierces don't do anything. Opts get slowed down by Talias. Combos unlikely to happen. That's why we've done this. So submit deck. Yes, I would like to take the play. It's not a great hand, but I will keep. There is an argument actually to trimming Arclight Phoenix in this matchup. Because if he goes Rest in Peace, suddenly I'm hard casting these 4 mana 3/2 flyers. So basically becomes Snare Thopters with haste, and that's not as ideal. But it's okay. something to think about for game number 3. I'm going to lead on this young pirate. If you can't remove this, I think we're going to be in really good shape. Razor Verge Thicket, so Bant. Okay, plays Talia. It's quite good for us, I think. Just go ahead and kill that right away. And this is the power of transitioning post sideboard into a sort of tokens game plan. With Young Pyromancer, if he doesn't have removal spells, he's just going to sit here generating tokens the entire. So he's thinking of playing. What is that? Shana Purifying Blade, lifelink 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay X. If you do draw X cards, X can't be greater than the life you gained this turn. So, basically, you gain 3 life, and then you pay 3, and then you draw 3. So that's why he's playing Bant colors. But that's okay with us because that is going to die. I play Consider. I do need to get Spell Mastery. Find a land, so that's really good. I'm still going to do all of this main phase. I could get back the Phoenix this turn, but I just, as I said before, just don't be afraid to play Phoenix a bit slower. You know, you want to control the battlefield. There's no rush to get your Phoenixes onto the table. He goes Adeline here. I can axe with the Phoenix. Now he's probably got Collected Company, to be honest, but that's okay. And I think I'm going to attack with these elemental tokens. See if he chooses to play a Collected Company. Then we can see what comes onto the table. There we go, collects the company. So maybe Spell Pierce could have had some utility. Finds Adeline and a Talia. I am going to axe that Adeline straight away. Blocks the Talia. So now it's gonna shot that one. So he's about to play a number of creatures, I guess. Or he could play another Collected Company. Malira the Living Cure. This is a very interesting humans deck. Quite different to some of the other ones I've seen. Play another Adeline. That's fine. So attack with Talia, make a token, block the token, trade token for token. I'm going to need a removal spell or a land, something. Find a land, so that's quite reasonable. I'm going to play the pieces. Brotherhood's End and a Braid. I'll take both of those. Now, you may be thinking, why do I have all these sweepers when I have Young Pyromancer and all these tokens? Well, it encourages them to overextend. And when they overextend, you can just chump block with all the tokens and then sweep their board. So it looks contradictory, but it doesn't really play that way, to be honest. General Kudrow of Draneth. Okay. So he's going to attack with everything. He's going to start exiling my graveyard. So I think we're just going to go chump, chump, chump. Taking no. If he plays another creature, I will Brotherhood's End. Brave the Elements, that's what the one spell is. God, Banishing Lights. That's dreadful. So I can't burn down House because he's got the Talia. I do think Brotherhood's End here is the way to go. So I'll sweep the battlefield. It's going to kill everything except the Adeline. Even if he were to give himself protection from red here, that won't stop. Oh no, that will stop because it's yeah. Well, if he has Brave the Elements, that's right. He can exile that to give that. What does it give it? Yeah, it gets returned to the battlefield. Well, that's fine. Well, I mean, it's not fine, but that's the way it's going to be. So ideally I'll find another land next turn, then I can just sweep him again with Burn Down the House. So, but we'll see. If I don't find a land, I could braid the Talia. So he's swinging for 6 here, so I go to 8. Ideally I'm going to find a land, because I think things are going to get a bit hairy. Find a Consider. Consider is not land. It's going to cost me mana. I think I'm going to have to lead on this Braid. Let's clear out the Talia. See what this Consider gets us. Another Consider. Don't have any Phoenix in the graveyard. I could hope to mill over a Phoenix, but he's swinging for 3, 4, 5. If he played another creature, that would be 6. Tough decision. I'm going to keep it. Okay, well, I did mill a Phoenix, which I am going to have on blocking duty. I'm going to play a tapped Steam Vents. Right, opponents, let's see what you've got. Plays another land. Okay, he's got another creature. It's General Kudrow. Exiles Young Pyromancer. Attacks the Adeline and the token. I'm going to go to 4. This General Kudrow. Chump that. And then we've got this Burn Down the House. So, ooh. Okay, so sweep the battlefield. I suspect that the pause is a moment of sadness. Oh, he's got Plaza of Heroes. Target creature gains legendary. Sorry, target legendary creature gets hexproof indestructible, of course. Never played against these cards before, but I guess that's the standard all-star, so. Alright, well. I do get to kill everything else though, so we're still alive. A land and something I can cast would be perfect. Didn't find a land. Gonna have to pass. So, he's attacking for 3. Hopefully he doesn't find a creature. Equals the number of... No! Opponent, why? Why opponent? Alright, we're dead. That's a shame, because normally humans is a good matchup, but this is significantly more difficult than the other humans list, I think. He had the Plaza of Heroes when I swept his board. He seems to have beefier creatures, and of course he had the Collected Company. So, much to think about. Alright, welcome back for round number 3. Just thinking about my last game, you know, I'll talk about what I'm keeping first, and that is a keep. Got a Obosh, so they're probably some kind of mono red aggro deck that plays odd owning creature spells. Last game, they couldn't have had Brave the Elements because they're playing multicolored creatures. And I was definitely playing as if they were mono white. I lead on. Well, I could play a creature turn 1, so I'm going to lead on Spirebluff Canal. Anyway, I guess that's the advantage of playing a brew, innovating, because your opponent plays based on what the meta's like, and if you play off meta and you discover something, you gain those little advantages like they did against me just then. So, alright, Kumino faces Kazan. I don't have a spell pierce, so that's going to go through. Find a consider. I will. I could play to get this Phoenix back on turn 3, but I don't think it would have to play 2 creatures this turn. I'm going to play a tap Steam Vents, just in case they do. I'm gonna leave this consider up. Let's see if they play 2 creatures. Phoenix check. I think I'm gonna have to kill this because I think this could be a light up the stage. I don't want him playing light up the stage if his hand is screwed on lands. So I'm just gonna lead on that Fiery Impulse, I think. And he does end the turn. Well, to get my Steam Vents out, I think now I want to fire off the consider. I think I do. I do. So Brazen Borrower. It's traditionally not that good against mono red, but I think we need the spells, so keep. And I'm actually just gonna play another tap Steam Vents. So I want to take as little damage as possible from my lands. It's gonna burn my face. And I just want all my lands to be coming in untapped later. And Brazen Borrower can cost 5 mana if I play Petty Theft and the Borrower in the same turn. If I top deck Pieces of the Puzzle, I might want to play multiple spells in one. Alright, so again with my plan of taking as little damage as possible, I'm going to Lightning Axe this. I'm going to discard the Phoenix. What's he going to do? He's still hamstrung on lands. Okay, so now he's going to play Light Up the Stage. There we go. There's Light Up the Stage. Yeah, 2 lands. Typical. That's okay. We're going to rip Pieces of the Puzzle. It's going to be all okay. Plays land. Consider. Okay. I will play the Consider. Pieces. Excellent. Find Opt. Spikefield has the Fiery Impulse. I'm going to take the Opt and the Fiery Impulse. So next turn I can triple spell. Get back Heart like Phoenix with Petty Theft. I'm going to be looking to find a Treasure Cruise. We're on 15 life still, so that's good. Goblin Chain Whirler. Okay. That's going to be pretty inefficient against our deck. So I think we're quite happy he's playing that. Yeah. Does he He's going to play something else. Skewer the critics, alright. Okay. Right, let's lead on Fiery Impulse. Let's ditch that. Opt. Shredder. I will keep Shredder. Play land. Opt again. Keep the opt. Play Shredder. So Leisure Shredder is typically incredible against mono red. If you can get Leisure Shredder to be a 2/4, they can't kill it. All their removal spell does 3 damage. So, but we're on 11. He's played 3 burn spells that I've faced so far. So I think we're in pretty good shape. And thanks to us playing the tapped Steam Vents earlier, you know, we did tap out on turn 5. We did use all our mana, and we didn't take any damage from it. So I think that proved to be a good choice, I think. He still doesn't have this Obosh in hand. Even if he does play Obosh, I can petty theft it back again. So it's going to cost him 13 mana to get that to stick. Monastery Swift Spear. Well, I am going to block. If he tries to burn, I get to loot. So okay. No effects. Don't want to be taking any unnecessary damage. Skewer the critics at the Shredder. Well, that's one way of doing it. I have to discard a card. I think I need to keep the Borrower, so I'm going to ditch the opt. Spell Pierce. Alright, well, I'll lead on Treasure Cruise. Let's see what we find. Treasure Cruise, Hall, and Arclight Phoenix. Well, now... So I can play Phoenix. It does have this Den. Can't petty theft that. Could cruise again. Just cruise again. Okay, well, that's much better. I actually didn't realise I could cruise again. God damn. Okay, so. And we found... Okay, so I've gone cruise, cruise, axe. I don't have to play the opt. I don't think I want to. I want to hold up petty theft and spell pierce. I'm going to attack with both Phoenix. He could fire up the den if he wanted to. If he did, I'm going to flash him Brazen Borrower. And then send him to 1. So he's not really winning that game. Do you notice with Phoenix, it's kind of all about your card flow. You play a Treasure Cruise, that leads to another Treasure Cruise, which leads to an Axe, which leads to you getting back a Phoenix. And you just have to keep up this constant state of card. Games where your card flow halts, the kinds of games where you tend to lose. Because you're just sort of trading 1 for 1, you're not really doing anything. You have these clunky 4 mana Snare Thopters that don't do anything. But in that situation, you know, we drew 6 cards and we put a 3/2 onto the board. And so he's going to fire up this den. He's going to attack, send me to 8. I will take that. That will send me to 7 because he's got the Goblin token. It's fine. Flash in Brazen Borrower. I will opt. That's the bottom. So it's just lands for days. I could send him to 1 and just hold back the Phoenix just in case. I think I might do that. He could play Goblin Chain Whirler and kill the Brazen Borrower, but I can't imagine him to kill both Phoenix. I do have this Spell Pierce just in case, and of course I can fire a ball. So 2 cards in hand. He obviously, so if I didn't leave a Phoenix back, he could have swung with the Goblin Token and gone double skew with the critics. That would have been lights out. I don't think there's a card combination to actually win him a game from here. Oh, but I guess we'll find out. Umino faces Kazan. Yeah, I think I'm going to Spell Pierce. At the end of the day, this is his very last turn, so Spell Pierce just tempos him out of the game here. Okay, it's going to counter, so he's going to let that be countered. He's going to attack with the Goblin Token. Oh, he could have Goblin Chain Whirler, as I said before. So if I block that and he has Chain Whirler, I don't win. So I'm going to let that go through. That would explain also why he lets Spell Pierce counter his spell. So I'll just let him play the Chain Whirler. Send him to -2 life. Okay, opponent scoops. Alright, sideboarding. So Trespass and Iteration are usually too clunky. I'm kind of medium on something like Thing in the Ice. I'm a bit medium on Jawari Disruption, although, you know, he has Goblin Chain Whirlers and things. Spell Pierces can be effective, as can Spikefield Hazards. So it's only really 2 cards, to be honest. Brazen Burrow is a bit kind of meh. It's going to get pinged by the Chain Whirler. It's a bit too inefficient. So I like Brotherhood's Ends. They will be effective sweepers. I don't mind the Ether Gust. Ether Gust can be pretty good. I don't think Pyromancer will be any good if he leaves in those Chain Whirlers, as I said before. I think I might cut this Thing in the Ice. Again, like, you can't really block because they just burn it down easily. So say it blocks Swift Spear. It blocks, then they use Play with Fire or something. It just dies. It just dies really quickly. So I put the Ether Gust in. Then when you flip it, you're just flipping a bunch of Phoenix Chicks and Swift Spears, so that's not particularly effective. Then we've got a Braid and Crackling Drake left. You do want that Critical Mass of spells. Burn Down the House is probably too slow. I don't think we need something like Crackling Drake to try and win the game, because we have our Shredders, we have our Phoenixes. Against a deck like Red, you just want to kill everything. Although Crackling Drake does end the game quite, but I'm just going to put it in Braid. So that's Braids, 2 Brotherhood's Ends, and Ether Gust in exchange for Trespass, Thing, Brazen Borrow, and Galvanic Expansion. Basically, you're just cutting clunky cards for cards that interact. And that's really all there is to it. So, game number 2, we've got Spire Bluff Canal, Spikefield Hazard. So we've got some lands, we've got some Shredders. I think this is a keep. Ideally, we will find that 3rd land. Because our hand is... It's a little bit slow. So now, I could lead on Spire Bluff Canal. And then opt and try to find the other land. Or I could lead on Spire Bluff Canal. Sorry, lead on Spikefield Cave. Then play Spire Bluff Canal. And then play Shredder. Which might die straight away. So that wouldn't be ideal either. I think I'm just going to play the Canal. And say go. This may not be ideal. Really kind of hoping to find another land. Plays the Phoenix Chick. If I can get 2 lands, then I would actually like to Spikefield Hazard the Phoenix Chick. Okay, I'm just going to opt. I did find a land, so that's great. That's good news. What do I find here? Ether Gust. So, I think here... I think we need to start killing their creatures, to be honest. I think it's very tempting to play the Shredder. Don't think we should. Because if it dies, then we're in bad shape. So I'm just gonna untap Steam Vents, Abrade a Soulscar Mage, say go. Next turn, I'm probably going to be playing the tapped Spikefield Cave, but we could get lucky and find another untapped land. If we find another untapped land, then I can go Shredder into Spikefield Hazard, remove the Phoenix Chick, and then I have a 2/4 Shredder. So I would also get to loose away the Phoenix, which is not doing us any favours, to be honest, because it's quite clunky. It just sort of slowly gets the engine going. Right, it's going to play Bone Crusher Giant, which I can Ether Gust. So Spell Pierce. Yeah, I'm going to play that Spikefield Cave, and then I think I'm going to hold up this Ether Gust. I'm going to Ether Gust the Bone Crush. I will take 2, unfortunately. So I'm still, my life total is still pounded away. It's going to attack. It's going to Ether Gust that. So I guess Ether Gust not looking too great here, to be honest. You would prefer to just kill that Bone Crush Giant. But if you had 3 mana Chandra, you know, that would be much more effective. We put it. Show chat. Oh. Ooh, don't want to do that. I want to show game log. I want to see. So opponent put Bone Crusher on top. Okay, so now let's hide that game. So now we have found a really good draw. Fiery Impulse was the perfect card. So I could. So I can Fiery Impulse, ditch the Phoenix. He's going to find Bone Crush. And reduce the size of Shredder, but I think we just have to do this. Ditch Phoenix, kill the Goblin Chain Whirler. It's going to draw Bone Crush Giant. I still have to block. Just don't have a choice. So Shredder's probably going to die to the Soulscar Mage. Just how it's going to be. If I did this in reverse, then I guess. I mean, I guess I don't have to block it. I can just block the Phoenix Chick instead. So I might actually do that. This will become an 0-2 if he stomps it. Or I can go to 2. Soulscar Mage. Oh, but then he's got Raminat Root, doesn't he? Well, neither option's ideal, really. Maybe I had to block the Soulscar Mage. He's thinking about whether he wants to stomp me or cast the Bone Crush Giant. I think he should stomp me, because if he finds a land, I'm just dead. So, with any luck, he's just going to cast the Bone Crusher Giant. Let's see what he does. Yes, ideally, I should have blocked Soulscar Mage, because, yes, I lose the Shredder. But he doesn't cast Bone Crusher Giant. I'm not going to be dead to Raminat. I just take 1 this turn and go to 5. I actually want him to stomp Shredder, to be honest. I don't want him to stomp her. So, okay. So now not going to be able to spell pierce a burn spell. I think I just have to play Shredder here. I'm going to consider. I don't want a Steam Vents. Do want a Treasure Cruise. Don't want Piece of the Puzzle. I do want Opt. Play Hall. And I'm just going to attack with this Shredder. So the way I'm probably not winning this game. I'm on 2 life against the burn deck. But the way I can win, if he doesn't find anything. Really? Okay. Well, there's the land. I'm dead. So if I'd have blocked the way I said I should have, I think that game would have been. To be honest. Okay. No changes. Game number 3. Right. Game number. Okay, game number 3. We have no removal spells or red mana. Nevertheless, I'm going to keep. I have a turn 1 spell pierce. I can counter Kumino faces Kazan. He has it. There's a lot of wheels spinning. Opponent thinking about whether he should mulligan. Okay, opponent did mulligan. It keeps 6. I'm going to lead on this island. Hold up spell pierce. And then here we go, turn 1. Kumino faces Kazan. You can do it, opponent. A dent. Soulscar Mage. Well, that's okay. we'll just wheel spin. So that's going to the graveyard. We need red mana. Found a Jwari Disruption. Okay, Ledger Shredder. So I think now we want to play the Jwari Ruins. Hold up this spell pierce, and of course I've still got the opt. And then we're just going to cast Ledger Shredder on turn 3 and get a counter. So he plays Swift Spear. Two Swift Spears, okay. I'll just opt. Fiery Impulse, that's going to be something we need later. So we're going to go to 17. Phoenix. So let's get the Shredder on the table. Opt. Put Phoenix to the graveyard. Need to find red mana. Found the Treasure Cruise. I think Treasure Cruise is going to the bottom. Okay, Spell Pierce. So shields are down here, to be honest. I really was hoping to find that red mana. But what can you do? Hopefully. I mean, because he's got the Soulscar Mage, this Shredder's probably going to die. I couldn't have really made a different play last turn. I think if he attacks, I think I will block anyway. I just have to be honest. Opponent's spending a long time thinking, so might not have a removal spell. So that's good news for me. Hopefully it's a bunch of Goblin Chain Whirlers or funky cards that don't beat a 2/4 Shredder. Okay, opponent is going to combat, to attacks, attacking with everything. I'm just going to snap block. Let's block. I'll take too much damage. Oh, he didn't have the removal spell. Okay, well now Soulscar Mage is off the table. Has light up the stage. Yeah, I thought he might have something like this. Okay, what does he find? He finds Kumino Faces Kazan and a mountain. Now, if he plays the Kumino Faces Kazan, that's going to trigger my Shredder. I can loot away one of these spell piercers. So, let's hope he plays it. If he doesn't, next time I'm just going to play Shredder. Okay, another light up the stage. Okay. I'm going to ditch the spell pierce, as I said. So now he's got play with fire, a swift spear. So now he can play the mountain and he can play. Well, he can't burn the Shredder anymore. See, I mean, he has until the end of his next turn, so here's some choices. A 3/5 Shredder is going to be quite difficult to deal with, though. But we'll see. We'll see. Light thing out. I'm just going to get my other Shredder to the table. I'm going to hold up this other Spell Pierce and just block whatever he does with the 3/5 Shredder. So now he's going to cast those two spells, and I can counter one of them. So see what he does here. He can grow the Swift Spears. They could all go up to 4 power potentially. We know they can go up to 3 power, but he's got these two spells. Kumino Faces Kazan. Lead on that. I think. Do I want to spell pierce now? You could go land and play with fire, and that would be unfortunate. I think this one's just going to go through though. I think that's spell number 1. He's going to have to play another spell anyway. He wants to get through my Shredders. So we'll let that one resolve. Does play another land. So now if he swings, I'll probably snap 2 blocks off. He'll plays another Kumino Faces Kazan. Put the Phoenix to the graveyard. And we've found a red land. So now, what do I want to ditch? So it's going to be a 2/4. Doesn't really have any good attacks because the big Shredder is going to block. The 4/6 Shredder is blocking everything. I think. I don't know if I'm going to have time to cast this pieces, but then kind of how I'm going to get recur these Phoenixes. I think. I think I'm ditching Ether Gust here. Okay. 3/4 Swift Spears. So now the Spell Pierce is live. You can counter this. Play with fire. So you can attack with all 3. I can Spell Pierce to play with fire. The big Shredder will bounce off a Swift Spear. The other one will die. Phoenix Chick is his final. So now, if I go to blocks, block here, he'll try and play with fire. The other Swiss Spear will go up to 4 power, so my Shredder will die. I think I'm going to block here. Take 8, go to 5. Is that too much damage? I think it might be. So I would go to take 5, go to 8. I think it's too much damage. I think I block there. I don't want to make the same mistake I made last game. You just have to play to minimize the damage sometimes. Has no spells remaining. He does have this Ramanap Ruins though. Remember, this Swiss Spear isn't going to die this turn, so spell pierce that. So find Spitefield Hazard. So now I can Lava Glides Pathway, kill one of the Swiss Spears, and then play pieces, loot, hope to find a land. I think that's the play we're making. Come on, Shredder, you can do it. Not close enough. So I think maybe I should have led on pieces, actually, to be honest. I'm going to ditch this axe. Finds an opt. I would have liked to ditch that instead. Okay, so go. Really hoping my opponent finds nothing. If he attacks with both, I mean, everything's going to be live though, isn't it? So I don't know what. He's doing a lot of thinking. If he got something like Goblin Chain Whirler, that would probably be ideal for me, actually. Because then he doesn't have good attacks. He'll only do 2 damage if I block one of his Swiss Spears. Fires up the den. So I'm going to take 4. Treasure Cruise. I'm going to lead on Treasure Cruise. Found another red land, so that's good news. So now play the Stormcarved Coast. Going to opt. Found another opt. I need all my removal spells, to be honest. I could ditch the land and then opt again. Maybe I'll do that on his turn to trigger the Shredder. I think I will do that. I could opt now, actually, because then I could get all my Phoenix back, and then I could remove the flipped Kumino and the etching of Kumino, and then all my Phoenixes would recur if he attacked with everything. So I might do that. Ditch that. Yeah, I think I need all the removal spells. Cruise. I will keep the cruise. Play to land, so. Okay, well, you have a big battlefield, but so do I. Now, kill 2 of his creatures here with removal spells. So if he launches a big attack, I will kill the 2 etchings, and then I will block everything else, I suppose. Den is off the table. He just has to go for it. Attack with everything. Okay, impulse number 1. So Kumino, etching of Kumino is if a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control, he deals damage to my Phoenix, it gets exiled, basically. So that's on the battlefield. So it's really in our best interest to be removing those. Okay, passes back priority. Fiery Impulse again. And the other etching. Gets a loot. Brotherhood's End. That's really good. Really good. I think I'm ditching this Lightning Axe. Oh, well, he hasn't added an Obosh to hand, so maybe it's actually a Spikefield Hazard I'm ditching. As far as I know, I'm not losing all my creatures here anyway. Okay, block everything. Blocks declared. What's he got? He's going to burn me. Play with fire, 2 damage to face. He's going to scry, hopefully to the bottom. Scries 1 to the bottom, okay. This means 2. I think I'm going to be dead, to be honest. Puts Obosh to hand. He's on 19, so I've got 3, 6, 12. Not going to be enough. We found Shredder and Chart. If I had that Spikefield Hazard, so that'd be 9, 7, 16, so no, that's still not enough. I could play to find the other Phoenix. So that would be 12 plus 7, that would be 19. So there's 23 cards remaining. I think I am going to do that. So let's see if I can... I'm going to ditch the Brotherhood's End at this stage. Nope, that won't do it. I'll ditch the Steam Vents. Okay, consider. Here we go. Come on, Phoenix. Didn't find the Phoenix. It's okay. And, you know, at this point we just attack with everything. Okay, come on, opponent. Don't draw the burn spell. Don't draw a basic mountain. Just play a normal creature. Please. Please. I said please. Alright, welcome back for round number 4. I think this is a keep. Shredder Opt Spell Pierce. Not bad. Currently in the 1 and 2 bracket, after a really tight game against Mono Red. Really just came down to one top deck in the end, to be honest. I think here I'm going to play an untapped Steam Vents. Say go. Really looking to hold up that Spell Pierce. This could be a mirror match. I have to see what they play next. Could be blue-black. Okay, there we go. There's the Airborg. It is blue-black. I'm going to play Thought Erasure. I think I'm just going to Spell Pierce that now. And then they often have Narsets, so I'm really tempted to get this Charter Course out the way, to be honest. But, you know, if he does have Narsets, I'm just going to play the Shredder. Let's get Battlefield Presence. Maybe it would have been correct to play the charts though. Well, he doesn't have double blue anyway. Fatal Push. And then Thoughtseize. So, the fact we didn't play charts is actually quite good now because, well, he takes the Treasure Cruise, but I can spin my wheels into more cards. So, I'm going to lead on Opt. Don't need a Steam Vents. Found a Spell Pierce. I'm going to hold that up. Now hold up Spell Pierce and Opt. Now I will play that Opt. Phoenix to the top. Let's go chart. If he tries to counter this, I'll Spell Pierce it, play the Coast, then play Opt and repair the Phoenix. I'll Drown in the Lock. I was hoping to throw 3 mana counter. Well, that's going to have to be countered. And then I will play the Opt anyway. Send that to the bottom. Shredder. It's going to continue holding up Spell Pierce. I think I'm just going to Spell Pierce Curate because I think we're running out of opportunities to actually use it. So get that Curate off the table. And then untapped. Nope, tapped Water Grave. He's got 1 card left. Spell Pierce. I mean, I think sometimes you just have to start throwing Snare Thopters at. So let's do that. Right. Find a land. Going to swing with Phoenix again. I don't really think this Spell Pierce is ever going to be able to counter anything, but play the Shredder. I think I am going to play the land. He double spells. I think I want to loot away the Spell Pierce more than Drown and Lock is the Phoenix. Okay, that's fine. I don't think I'm really getting anywhere. If I Spell Pierce that and then he pays the mana, I don't think I'm really getting anywhere. Okay, there we go. There is a Spell Pierce target. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I was trying to use my cards in a way that wasn't negative advantage. So, okay, found a Consider, that's really good. Now I want Piece of the Puzzle or Treasure Cruise. So, there we go, there's pieces. And we're off to the races. Just Steam Vents. Treasure Cruise. Okay, we found a cruise. 2 cruises. Okay, and he scoops. I guess that really is the power of Phoenix, you know, in that middle of the game there. We're both on card parity, but Phoenix just is 1 good top deck away from crushing you. So, 2 Mystical Disputes, Crackling Drake, 2 Pyromancers. going to consider it as disdainful strokes. We need to take out basically all of that. So we've got 2 axes remaining. They will have some creatures post board, but not many. I'm going to put in 1 disdainful stroke, and I think they're not going to have rest in peace. So I think I'm going to keep in this temporal trespass. Excuse me. Right, we have 2 lands. Jawari Disruption as well. Shredder Pieces, just to keep. Lightning the Axe isn't ideal against them, but there's only 2 in the deck, so let's see. Thing in the Ice. I did mean to cut Thing in the Ice. Shouldn't really have Thing in the Ice post board against decks like these. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna play the Jawari Ruins. Although I would have liked to have had that as a counter. I just have to get lands onto the table. Consider. Ideally, I'd like the thing to be pushed or discarded away with the Shredder. Thought Arranger. So they're either going to want to take crews or pieces of the puzzle. Normally, I think normally you'd try to take pieces here. Maybe they do take pieces. So puts 1 card on top of their library. Let's see, shock. Let's play this thing. So the thing with Thing is that I really just want that to absorb a Fatal Push, to be honest, because it's not meant to be here. It's board. See what they do. Tapped Water Grave. They play Ritual of Soots, so I don't really want to be playing this Shredder. So I'm just going to play an island and fire off the Consider, I think. Finds an Opt. Crackling Drake. I will keep the Crackling Drake. I can potentially cast that next turn if I want to. I'm feigning Spell Pierce here. I think he's going to have to... Cling to Dust. Okay, that's fine. So Cling to Dust is quite a reasonable source of card advantage for him because he can just sort of keep escaping it. My graveyard's never really going to get too big. Taps 3, 4. Shieldred's the Apocalypse. Well, we knew they would have creatures, so I'm just going to go ahead and axe that. I'll discard. So here's the thing, I can go land and play Cruise by tapping 4 lands. Crackling Drake, so I need the land. I think Crackling Drake is the best card here, so I'm going to ditch the Shredder. Okay, by Shieldred. Found another land. Well, I'm going to play the red side because we'll need double red. Cruise while we can, because he does have that cling. A thing flips. He is going to need to kill that. That's a reasonable clock now. Found another treasure cruise. Don't think that's going to be particularly easy to cast. Fatal Push. Not Fatal Push. Curate, okay. Let's see what they've got. So we saw Ritual of Soot before. We didn't see Extinction Event. I would assume they have Extinction Events. But anyway, you found the Fatal Push anyway, so... well, now I'm going to play this Crackling Drake. He could have Mystical Dispute. Doesn't. Temporal Trespass, okay. I think I just want to play this untapped. I think I want to feign Spell Pierce. Although if I was feigning Spell Pierce, you know, I'd probably play it untapped first, but so maybe I've actually just given away free information. Taps 2, but I am holding up this Lightning Axe anyway, so 4 mana, what could it be? Could it be another Shield Red? No, he's escaping the Cling to Dust, I think. He's Gurmag Angler. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. That will of course get Lightning Axed. Crackling Drake is up to 6. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 mana for Trespass. We need 11, so that's awkward. Can cruise. I think I will, and I think I'm just going to spend all my mana to do that. This way, I've got some cards in graveyard for Temporal Trespass down the road. This Crackling Drake is just killing him. Extinction Event. Okay, there we go. Okay, double Arc-Light Phoenix. Race is on. And he concedes. Okay. I think blue-black is quite a good matchup for Phoenix because you don't have scary to fairies like blue-white, and you don't have Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace is how you beat this deck. And Cling to Dust wasn't good enough. I still had axes. I could still kill the Shield Dreads. He ran out of cards. Alright, welcome back to round number 5. Starting off with the mulligan. There's 1 land there. This one's a keep though. I think we're sending back to Steam Vents. We've got Hall, Spire Bluff, Pathway. We've got this cruise and we've got the pieces, so I can kill a Mana Dork turn 1 if Razor Verge Thicket into Skrelv. Okie dokie. Just as I was saying, I can kill a Dork turn 1. So I will do that. That is one of the benefits of having Spikefield Hazards. You get to increase your land count, but it's also interaction for some of these faster decks. So I think it's probably Angels, so I don't like our chances, frankly. So we could end up in the Light Pause. Okay, never mind. We are against the Auras. So now play the Hall. We have a slow hand, unfortunately. I don't have another removal spell, which ideally I would. It's whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control. So, does he choose to risk it? He does. Enchanted creature has hexproof. Well, that's going to have to resolve. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. So if only I had a Spell Pierce or a Fiery Impulse, I would have been okay. This time we didn't. Now it's a 4/4 hexproof. So I'm going to need a miracle to win this game, frankly. What do I find? Another pieces. Alright, well. Just going to have to pray. Don't even know what I'm trying to find. Stage. I can't. It's got hexproof, so I think I'm just gonna have to concede. To be honest. Okay, so we're going to need sweepers. Thing in the ice seems pretty good. They'll have rest in peace, so I'm going to ditch the trespass. I'm going to ditch the iteration. I might ditch one cruise as well. Probably one Phoenix. I'm going to need all our removal. Need all the spell pierces. So let's see. Where does that leave us? So they do have the Glade cover scout. I'm tempted to remove another Phoenix, maybe. The reality is we need as much removal as we can get, and a Braid seems pretty good to bring in. Young Pyromancers seem okay too, frankly. So would have to find a way to give their creature trample. But not too sure what else we can cut here. I think I can't go down to 2 Phoenixes. Maybe I can cut 1 pieces. Kind of how we end up winning though. We cut 1 pieces for the Abra. Okay. Trimming back on the expensive stuff, increasing interaction. Alright, this is a good hand. Opponent mulligans. That's the other thing. Theoretically, they should mulligan considerably more than us because they have to have their dorks. So let's see what they do. Okay, they're going to keep 6. I'm going to play Spire Bluff, say go. Hopefully they play Skrelv and not like Glade Cover Scout. Well, I did jinx myself. Consider into opt. I think we're going to keep that on top. Another opt. Play the Otawara. So ideally, he's just going to play a light pause here. Plays a SRAM. In for 1. I'm going to opt. Guari Disruption. I think the time for that has passed, so that's going to go to the bottom. I'm going to axe the SRAM. I think I need to keep this Spikefield Hazard. I think I need to keep the opt as well, so I'm actually going to ditch the land. Go to 19. So off pieces of the puzzle. Ooh, burn down the house. Okay, maybe that's how we win the game. Brotherhood's End and pieces. Okay, well, that will do it. So I've already played a land this turn. Can't play the. I think we're going to end up playing the Spikefield Hazard as a land. So next turn we can go Spikefield Cave into Brotherhood's End. Ethereal Armor. Another Ethereal Armor. That goes up to a 5/5. So Brotherhood's End just went out the window. I'm dying quite rapidly. Fiery Impulse. Well, I think we have to just fire off another pieces, quite frankly. Finds nothing. Play the cave. We do have 2 Phoenix in the graveyard now. So let's see what he does here. 8/7. I could be dead this turn, to be honest. Flying first strike. 11. It's got one more. Are you kidding me? 50. Okay, well, we're dead. Well, 2 and 3. Quite disappointing. Very close game against the mono red player. Does Phoenix still have what it takes? The answer could be maybe not, to be honest. Short of being rebuilt. Maybe Thing in the Ices would have been better to Leisure Shredders. Much to think about. All right, well, there were some tight games. I hope you enjoyed it, and as I said before, like and subscribe if you like this content. Thanks for watching.